Hello everyone, in this video I'll be translating and summarizing the latest Urdu broadcast by Samina Pasha to make it accessible for our English-speaking audience. Let's go through the key developments and insights in Samina Pasha's words. The news is very important today because it is Tuesday and there will be a meeting with Imran Khan. So everyone's attention will be on this, wondering whether he will give a date for a protest or instruct his party to announce a date according to the strategy that has been somewhat discussed with him. So, what message he will give on this matter will be discussed. In addition, there are reports that the Chief Justice of the Islamabad High Court, Justice Sarfraz Dogar, has been permanently appointed as Chief Justice. His oath-taking ceremony is today. It is being speculated that judges who are pro-constitution, independent and write letters will not participate. There is a strong possibility of this happening. We will discuss this further. What is happening in the judiciary, and alongside this, Junaid Safdar, Maryam Nawaz's son, has been charged. But surprisingly, the ones who did the charging have also been praised. We will discuss this matter too. Also, there are news reports regarding Malik Riyaz's settlement. So, how true are these reports and how will this affect Imran Khan's cases? All of this will be discussed in today's vlog. Today is the day of Imran Khan's meeting, and for the past several Tuesdays we have been seeing that only his two sisters are allowed a very brief meeting with him and no one else gets to meet him. The last time, only a lawyer was allowed to meet him, and that too was a meeting of just 1.5 minutes. So he has been kept in solitary confinement with no contact with anyone, and the party leadership has not been allowed to meet him for months. Currently, the hearings related to his cases are also being postponed and there are no hearings in Adiala jail so that his contact remains disconnected. This has been a continuous situation that is ongoing right now, and during this situation, today is another Tuesday and the focus is particularly on this day because PTI workers are putting pressure on their leadership to announce a protest movement. They are urging them to present a plan and announce it. In fact, they didn't even wait for the Tuesday after Muharram. They started on Monday from the morning, urging the leadership to come forward and hold a press conference. So a press conference did take place by the leadership, but it wasn't about this issue, it was about another important matter, which I will explain to you in detail. But Halim Adil Sheikh held a separate press conference in Karachi where he said that they are going to go on a hunger strike and will organise rallies, all of which will be part of the movement for Imran Khan's release. So he will continue his activities in Sindh, as he has been doing before, but obviously its impact and significance will only be felt when there is a coordinated movement in Punjab and Khyber Pakhtunkhwa and other areas. So, is the leadership prepared for this, and will an announcement be made regarding it? Some people claim that the entire plan and strategy are ready, but when it will be announced is uncertain. Perhaps the final announcement will come after today's meeting with Imran Khan. But there is another important matter related to this, which is the tweet by Imran Khan's son, Kasim Khan. You may recall that some time ago in a podcast, Imran Khan's sons raised their voices about the illegal treatment being given to their father, stating that it was against the basic human rights of prisoners. They spoke out internationally about this. At that time, they had announced that they would continue raising their voices and meeting with various people, if necessary. However, since then, there has been no apparent public action from them. If they have been working behind the scenes, we don't know, but there has been no public show of protest or further action regarding this. Today, after a long time, Kasim Khan has tweeted again. In his tweet, he raised his voice about the treatment Imran Khan is receiving in prison. He mentioned that it has been over 700 days since his father has been imprisoned in various fake cases, and at this time, he is not even being provided basic human rights. He has been placed in solitary confinement and no contact is being allowed with his family. Their family members can't meet him and his lawyers are also being denied access. Moreover, even his personal doctors are not allowed to meet him. Despite the need for a medical checkup, no facilities are being provided to him. So Kasim Khan has raised his voice about this in his tweet, urging everyone to pay attention to the unacceptable treatment his father is facing. His tweet has had a significant impact, as he comes from an influential family and is the son of Imran Khan and Jemima, so his tweets have a large reach. However, the question remains whether any action will be taken in response. Until now, we haven't seen any steps taken, but his raising his voice is still very important. In just a few hours, his tweet receives thousands of retweets and views, and it reaches many people. Raising awareness about the injustice Imran Khan is facing in prison is crucial to prevent this situation from normalizing. Because if they stay silent and no one speaks out, the regime may think that it's fine, and they can continue tightening the situation without any protests. Therefore, it is important to keep speaking out against this oppression. And it is good that his son is tweeting about it, but I think they need to raise their voices even more strongly, and they can do much better than this. So, this is what is happening with Kasim Khan's tweet today. Meanwhile, Imran Khan's party held a press conference today, but the issue discussed was related to FATA's reintegration into the federal government. You know that FATA was previously not part of Khyber Pakhtunkhwa, and its administrative matters were directly handled by the federal government. However, after a constitutional amendment, FATA's areas were merged into Khyber Pakhtunkhwa, and the aim was to bring them under provincial government control so that the provincial government could handle the basic needs of these areas and steps could be taken towards their development. It's a separate issue that political situations led to very little progress in the development of these areas despite expectations. Now, a committee has been formed under Prime Minister Shahbaz Sharif, which includes various MPAs and MNAs from KPK. It was expected that this committee would review the issues related to FATA, but only one meeting was held, and PTI members realized that the plan being discussed wasn't about the development of these areas. Instead, it was about placing them again under the federal government. Perhaps the path is being paved for the implementation, and all the discussions were held in this regard. After that, when there was the second session yesterday, the PTI members boycotted it and did not participate in the committee's session. After that, they held a press conference and presented all the details. Today, the discussion on this issue by PTI was quite interesting, and I want to share it with you. In this press conference, PTI leaders themselves stated that the reason for the whole upheaval was that the Mines and Minerals Bill was stopped, and so were the legislative actions related to it. They are concerned that under this plan, they are trying to take the whole matter back from the provincial government to the federal government. The purpose of this is to bring the area back under the federal government's control, which would then oversee the related mineral laws as well. If there are any operational issues regarding it, the federal government would be able to handle them. As you know, operations are carried out in areas like Waziristan and other regions, and the provincial government needs consent and cooperation for these operations. The people there are quite frustrated with the operations and are completely opposed to them. These things are now being directly placed under the federal government's control. And for this reason, PTI presented its stance today in the press conference, saying that if any forced attempts are made to take these areas back from the provincial government and place them under the federal government, it would cause great unrest and anxiety, and the response from the people there might become uncontrollable. This could turn into a very dangerous game. They say that the issue regarding mines and minerals is the real reason for this entire plan. Now, from PTI's leadership, a question should also be raised. Why were they so eager to present and pass the Mines and Minerals Bill earlier? At that time, they were praising it, supporting it, and saying that there was nothing in it against the province's interests. They were backing it. It's a different matter that after the social media uproar and Imran Khan's objections, the legislation was halted. Otherwise, Ali Amin Gandapur was praising it, calling it a very good bill. Now, today, PTI itself admits that it was the mines and minerals issue that caused this entire plan. So, if they couldn't proceed with the legislation, they planned to take these areas from the provinces and place them under the federal government. This whole issue is very shady, and many people are linking it with lunch discussions about resources, which might have led to the re-evaluation of this issue. Anyway, PTI has given its stance, and maybe Imran Khan's position might also come up on this matter later. This was a very concerning situation. Additionally, there's another piece of news regarding Malik Riyaz. It was reported widely that Malik Riyaz had settled matters with the government and the establishment. Malik Riyaz, who has been living abroad for a long time, was under some pressure regarding certain issues. He was reportedly asked to testify against Imran Khan in the Al-Qadir Trust case, but he firmly refused, tweeting that he wouldn't testify against anyone. After that, several cases were filed against him, court decisions were passed, some of his offices were sealed, and raids were conducted. It seemed like the state was taking a more forceful stance against him, though it's rare for such big businessmen to be targeted in this way. However, if you go after a person of his stature, you might end up creating trouble for yourself as well. Some days ago, it was reported that Malik Riyaz had announced a donation of 3,000 acres of land in the name of charity. Later, more reports emerged confirming that Malik Riyaz's matters had been settled with the establishment. Asif Zardari and Mohsin Naqvi were reportedly involved in normalizing the situation and ensuring that Malik Riyaz could return to business. Today, Malik Riyaz's son also tweeted, stating that all matters were settled and Malik Riyaz would be landing in Karachi. Initially, he would be kept under protective custody, and after his cases were resolved, he would be allowed to move to Islamabad, as he is wanted in the Al-Qadir Trust case. Now, how does this tie into the future of PTI and Imran Khan's case? There are two views on this. The first is that if Malik Riyaz has agreed to testify against Imran Khan, which I think is unlikely, it could harm Imran Khan's case, particularly in the Al-Qadir Trust case. If Malik Riyaz comes forward with evidence showing that Imran Khan gained something from him, it could weaken Imran Khan's defense. But I don't think this is likely, because if that were the case, he would have agreed much earlier. He has always been firm in saying he would not testify against anyone, and his tweet still stands. The second possibility is that Malik Riyaz might settle his matters but not testify against Imran Khan. In this case, the Al-Qadir Trust case would become weaker because the main individual, who allegedly benefited by around £190 million, would be pardoned. If you forgive him or settle with him, how can you punish the one who simply created a university or transferred money from one account to another? This would further weaken Imran Khan's case. Therefore, the narrative that Malik Riyaz benefited Imran Khan would fall apart if he does not testify against him. So the question remains about what stance Malik Riyaz will adopt once he arrives. That will determine the future impact on Imran Khan's case and the political narrative. Moving on, there was also news today about Junaid Safdar, Maryam Nawaz's son. He was stopped by a traffic warden for driving a car with black tinted windows, which is prohibited. At first, it was reported that the Dolphin police had stopped him and issued a fine. Junaid Safdar was reportedly pleased and said that this was the right thing to do, and his mother, Maryam Nawaz, also appreciated it. But later, there was confusion because the Dolphin police doesn't have the authority to issue fines. It was then clarified that it was actually the traffic wardens who had fined him. Some people started praising this action, saying it was a great example of the rule of law and that it was good to see the law being enforced equally on everyone. However, it struck me that this might have been staged to create publicity for Maryam Nawaz, who has a strong desire for attention and praise. It seems possible that this fine was orchestrated to create positive publicity for her, portraying her as someone who believes in the rule of law, regardless of her family's position. Typically, these people enjoy their entitlements, so if there were a real shift in their privileges, we would see a very different behavior from them. Therefore, I'm skeptical about this incident and suspect it might have been part of a larger publicity stunt. However, this is something worth pondering. That wraps up our translation of Samina Pasha's video. I hope this English version helped you understand her message better. Please like, share and subscribe to Awami Lens to help our community grow. Don't forget to leave a comment below and let me know what you thought of this effort.